Hello, guys, and welcome. Welcome back. Yes, I know I missed you guys too. But in case you didn't miss me, it's okay. No problem at all. But I missed you. I didn't come up last week for e-chat, but yay! We are back again and we're still on the series how it started versus how it is going. Okay? So how have you been? The last time you saw me on eChat was 2 weeks ago. How have you been since then? I hope you've been fine. I hope everything is going on well. For me, it's been a mix of ups and downs. Such is life, as we all know it. But yeah, it's been a good one, and yeah, I'm happy to be back again. Today on the show, I'm going to be talking to a friend and a sister and an author and a fashionista. You're going to see for yourself, okay? So I'm going to be talking to a friend today. Her name is Fauza. Fauza Beltz is an author, a motivational speaker, and founder of Fauza Consultancy Ltd. She published her first book in 2016, Rising from the Dust. That's what it was titled, A Woman's Journey to Self-Discovery. Okay, Fauza is a Kenyan. She was born in the rural part of Kwale. She's passionate about youth development and support communities in Kenya. She's devoted to helping those young, or the young women and men, to make lasting change in life and live their best life. Okay, so we're going to be talking to her, and her full bio I'm going to leave in the description of this video so you can read up on that. And I'm also going to attach a website and an email address in case you want to connect with her. But I mean, through our work in 2016, she won an award for Fierce and Fabulous Awards, Melbourne, Australia. In 2018, she won an award for Certificate of Appreciation, Rotary Club of Limani District 9212. In 2019, she won a Certificate of Recognition in UAE Africa Network Group. And in 2019, she won Certification of Appreciation for Single Mothers Association in Kenya. No, she's not a single mom, actually. But I'm sure because she's doing amazingly well in that community, serving that community of, single moms in Kenya. Okay, are you ready to meet my guest? Are you ready? Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? Drum roll, and I'll be right back with my guest. And we're going to listen to her tell her story. Now she's a storyteller, so be ready to listen to her story of how it all started for her and how it's going right now. And she recently released a new book. Woohoo! We're going to hear all about that just in a moment. I'll be right back with Fauza. Don't go anywhere. Sit back, relax, take a cup of coffee, a cup of water, a cup of tea, whatever works for you, and I will be right back. Okay? Hi, Fauza.
Hello. Hang on. Let me set up. Can you see me? Can you all
I
see
can
me?
see you. I can hear you. It's super clear. I love this your new hairstyle, though.
I'm telling you, I wanted something different for November.
Are we
After
expecting something
COVID,
different for
after
December?
COVID isolation. So yeah.
So we're changing the style for December.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Now we're looking forward to that. How are you doing, sis?
I'm all
Good
right.
to have you
Thank
here.
you. I am fine. I am fine. Thank you.
Fantastic. Okay, so now we want to hear the story, right? No worries, guys. So I would have shown you a picture, but don't worry, you will see that on the theme, on the thumbnail of this video when it's ready, and you will see the difference from how it started, like from the very beginning, and now it's going now. But so while we're here, why not tell us the story? How you started, and specifically because I mean you are so vast in your career and even in your experience in life. So if we want to look at you, Fauza, as a whole, we won't leave here today, right? So let's just focus on your career as an author. How did you start, and how is it going right now?
Okay, so I was born in a small town, sort of it's town now, but back then it was sort of a small village in
Village.
the yes in the southern part of Kenya. And my parents, they were not married, so I basically grew up in different homes with different people. And it was not an easy childhood. It was tough. It was abusive,
Mm,
physically, mentally. And I sort of I it I always say that I just grew up. Some of us just grew up. You found
mm,
yourself on this world, and you are in these different homes, different rules. Everything is different, and you just find yourself growing up. But what
mm,
I realize with this kind of setup, it makes you sort of lose who you are. It sort of
mm,
makes you lose your identity because you question. You see other kids with their families. You see different setups, and you are there. Sometimes you are being told that you are not planned. My parents were
mm.
not married, so I was sort of a one night stand child,
Wow.
accidentally, as we say. And so, when you are told that you were not meant to be,
Mm,
you ruined your parents' bachelorhood, and all these kind of things. It does something to a child, and as you get older, you carry this with you. And now
mm,
the really difficult thing with African parents. I'm an African mom myself, an African parent, so I'm including myself in this is
equation,
that
yeah. Mm,
in this equation is that we don't have communication with our children.
mm.
We don't give our children opportunities to come to us as parents and talk to us because
Oh.
they are kids. What do they know? And
Mm,
the issue with this is that children tend to carry emotions. We carry emotions, and when I look at myself, especially when I was an adult, I'm
mm,
trying to find my place in the society where I live in. I sort of I lost my identity. When you grow up, you're in this area where you are in puberty, and you are trying to find a place in your community, in your society, even in your own household, in your own family. you
mm,
you 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 feel you don't fit in, and then you start wondering, why am I here? Who am I? Even
mm,
if you know your parents, but you're like, what's my purpose here? Why am I here for? And so for me, that was a bit hard, honestly, especially later on, having the realization that you are not planned, you an accident. You are given all these labels, and then you sort of start
mm.
identifying yourself
With
in
them,
this with
that
them, and all.
context. Mm,
Yes, so it is tough. And so um I grew up with this. I always say I got married with it, and you
mm.
carry this baggage with you.
Burden.
You bring this in new relationships, you bring this in friendships. You become very insecure, you don't know who you are. And so for me, the biggest issue actually was that, having relationship also with someone who is not from our culture, same
Wow.
faith, same backgrounds and all that. So I became an outcast.
Mm,
And because, having been, you know, having been on this earth and unplanned, I was told somehow that I was meant to marry someone of the same culture, the
inclination.
same faith, the same, everything has to be the same. So sort of to sanctify myself.
Oh,
And
wow.
so I was battling with these emotions and these feelings, and really searching, who am I? And at a certain point, I really became very angry. I became angry with myself. I became angry with my family. I became angry with God.
Hmm.
Because really, if God really creates human beings, creates babies, why would he allow this to happen to me? And so as I was trying to reconcile with myself, I started writing down my feelings. And especially in 2014, when I
Hmm.
was trying to reconcile with my dad, and he was like, your mother is the one to be blamed for.
Hmm.
That was really hard. And yeah, and that's why I started writing. I started rising from the dust, a woman's self-discovery, because I was in this search of finding myself and
Yourself.
understanding myself, knowing myself, but of all of
Also,
this, EJ, healing myself
and
also.
loving yourself. Hmm. 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 Wow. That's such
So
a touching story and such a heavy burden to have carried for such a long time, and finding
yeah,
healing just, when, like if I'm going to ask like what, I mean, there's no even asking in that because you've carried that burden from your youth till, but like
from
what took so
childhood,
long? Yeah, from childhood till even into
youth,
marriage.
and
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
you
But what
carry
took you,
this. We carry
yeah,
these things.
but what took you so long? Like, why did you wait so long to get into that, place of as up to the level of getting married before you started saying, I need to discover myself? Why did you think it took that long for you?
It took so long because I was ashamed of myself. I was so afraid, and I always used to say, if only they know who I really I am, will they still talk to
You
me?
just,
Will they still be my friends? So you don't want to be vulnerable. You don't want to be open and really share about who you are, about how you feel, about about the
what's
really
going
things
on in
that
your
really
heart.
they're in us. And so for me, I had a coach, a secular coach, because back then I was not a believer yet. I was still I was still angry with God. I was not believing in anything, to be honest, because I used to think, if really God is existing,
He won't
why
allow
would
that.
he
It's
allow
good.
these things to happen? I
Mm,
mean, it's not like it's I know there are people who have gone through worse things, being on the ground now, talking as a speaker, hearing stories. But for me, the hardest was being cut off from family, just
mm,
because of the way we see our differences, the way we see differences with other people.
mm,
For me, that was really the hardest to swallow. I always say, the abuse I've endured, the physical beating, emotional, you know,
mm,
it's still there in the subconscious mind. But the rejection, that was really hard for me. And so as I was trying to reconcile with myself, the reason of my birth, searching for my own identity, I find myself fighting depression,
mm,
fighting anxiety. I would be in my bedroom and not wanting to leave the house. I
mm.
would want to sleep the whole day because I have no energy at all. And so I decided, let me get a professional help.
Ah,
So that's when I got a coach. And that's when things started to evolve.
mm.
Going deeper, opening those cabinets. Yes, this has
It's
happened.
hard. Mm,
But what am I doing now with the life that I have? What am I doing
mm,
with what I have? How can I use this for the inner healing of myself?
mm,
How can I move forward? Yes, this has happened. Yes, I was told I'm a prostitute. Yes, I was born out of wedlock. I was supposed to marry another man of the same faith, whatever it culture, to sanctify myself.
Mm.
How the question I always asked when I was in that journey of healing was,
Mm.
but what can I do? Yes, things have happened, but what can I do? And who do I call myself also? So I
Mm.
started to open my cabinets. It's like peeling an onion. You take one
Layer
layer,
after
you
layer.
take another layer, you take another layer, you take another layer, you take another layer. You start
Indeed.
cleaning up slowly. You start cleaning up slowly. And then you
Mm.
start looking back to where you come from. The fact that that egg was hit by that sperm and I
Mm.
was conceived.
Conceived. Mm.
I start looking at it as a miracle. And it wouldn't be just an accident. Because if
Mm.
it was, I suddenly now realize that
There could have been a
it could have
miscarriage or
it
something.
could have been a miscarriage. It couldn't have happened. So I started asking God, but who do you call me then?
Hmm.
What do you say about me? What's your purpose for me here on earth? And as I was articulating and searching and peeling the layers of the onions, cleaning the wounds, it was painful because it was still
Mm.
bleeding.
Mm.
Because you want to be accepted just the way you are. But sometimes it's not the
It's
case.
not, yeah. It's not
And
the
so
reality.
for me, yeah. And so I went back now, cleaning up those cabinets, cleaning up those wounds, peeling up one layer after the other. And then what I always say, EJ, sometimes the enemy pushes you until he pushes you in the hand of the Creator.
Hmm. Indeed. Hmm.
And that was my turning point.
Wow.
Having that understanding that God loves me,
Hmm.
that there was nothing that happened by accident, that He does not do anything by accident, that He is divinely has made everything to work for good so that
Together.
He could stretch His hand and snatch me and call me His own. Of all the things that I'm grateful for is the day I said, Jesus is the Lord.
Glory.
And
Glory.
that has been the journey. And
Hmm.
I am thankful for the way the scene has been unfolding. Because of that, I was able now, to really go deeper and really do healing and writing the
Healing.
book and
Hmm.
share the story and really be vulnerable. Because at this moment, I realize that it really doesn't matter what has happened. I am
Hmm.
a child of the Most High God.
Oh,
I
yes.
am loved. I am divinely chosen. It
Hmm.
was not by accident for my creation. He made all things to work together. The
Together.
fact that the sperm and the egg connected. I mean, there are millions of
Of
sperms, but
sperm.
just
Really, only
one,
one. Hmm.
one hit the egg, and Fauza
And you
was there.
came. Hmm.
What a miracle it
Hmm.
is. What a celebration it is. And so,
Hmm.
having this realization now, I realize that for me being here on earth,
There is
it's
a
not by
purpose. Not
accident,
by accident.
it has
Hmm.
a purpose.
Hmm.
And that's what birthed Rising from the Dust, a woman's journey to self discovery.
Discovery. Hmm.
I wanted to share this journey to remind others that it doesn't matter what has happened to you, what you've gone through, the
Hmm.
rejection, the labels you've been given, those
The
that you have
abuse.
identified yourself with, it
Hmm.
doesn't matter. What matters is, what I say now is that when you know in whose you are, when you are aware that your identity is not in the humanly
And the
creation,
circumstances that
that
surround
it's,
you.
yes, that it's in God, it's in Him, the Creator, who made everything possible for you to be here on such a time, that alone for me is a miracle. It is a blessing.
Indeed, indeed. Like I just love how it all worked together, such that you found yourself, but you didn't just find yourself or finding yourself sick, but you were able to dig deep and deep and deep and deep until you got to the roots and then connected with your creator, which is such a fantastic story because now you kind of have depth and it's easier for you to even help other women, right? Because you can now tell that story, share that story, to empathize with those who might be going through that process right now,
Mm-hmm.
to
Mm-hmm.
tell them and to be a reference to them that, see, yes, it might be hard right now, but if you allow yourself to heal, by opening up, by being vulnerable, by asking for help,
Mm-hmm.
by really facing the issue, because I think most times what we do is we want to run away from it. We want to close it up. We
Yes.
create, like you said, that compartment and just shut it out and
Yes.
pretend like it does not exist. Like, no, it doesn't. Shut it out. I mean, for me personally, I think I still even have things that are shut out for now. Like, I'm not ready. I don't want to go there yet, Lord. No. But I look forward to that time where I would get to that point when I can really share and be really vulnerable with my story. But like, there's so much power in storytelling and just sharing your story and sharing your healing journey. So, how did you then transition from that first place to your current book now?
So, transform fear into freedom came about after rising from the dust, and
Mhm.
I realized that people are actually connecting with me. When they stumble a video that I did, maybe an interview that I did, just like what we are doing now,
Mhm.
or maybe I have posted something on my Facebook or on my blog, and people started connecting with me. And so what I realize, EJ, is that many people, we are so scared even to I mean to just to be us.
To be ourselves.
Yes, and many times we find it so hard to open up because we are so afraid.
Of
It's like what I
rejection.
said.
Mm.
Yes, you're so scared of being judged. You're so scared of being vulnerable. What if they gonna know? What's going to happen? So transforming fear to freedom, it's I'm taking you back,
Mm.
into a bit of introduction of rising from the dust.
Ah, I see.
And I bring you now in this journey, reminding each one of us that the wounds that you have, the journey we've traveled, we've all gone through things which they have stopped us to become who God has
That's
created us to, to,
wonderful.
to be.
Mm.
And even the scripture says, do not be afraid, because fear is not from God, it's from the enemy. And
Mm.
the enemy, what does is he torments us in the mind.
Mind.
And
Mm-hmm.
when your mind is blocked, you cannot do anything. And
No.
so transforming fear into freedom, it's a reminder
Hmm.
that you have the power to harness.
Change. Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
You
Hmm.
have the power. What is it that you are so afraid of? I mean,
Hmm.
we are all going through things right now.
True.
Even as we are doing this, there is so much happening.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What is it that you are struggling with? If only you can open up and harness
Open
the
up.
power of your mind,
Hmm.
because the power is in you, it's within you. And turning those wounds, those tragedies, those journeys that we have traveled into teachable, useful tools,
Hmm.
it's amazing.
Amazing.
It's actually
So,
what reinvents us. It's when you become aware of who you are. It's when you now understand that I can do all things.
okay. Hmm.
And when you are aware of these things, you become liberated.
True.
You the way you look at things change, because
Change your perception of life.
the battle is always in the mind.
The mind.
The
True.
battle
There's one
rages in
there.
the mind, and if you can win it from here,
Oof, so good. Yes.
you can
You're good. Like you are literally good. If you can win it here, like it's so powerful. Our minds are so powerful if we harness
absolutely.
it, like you said, if we harness it. And I think, yeah, like fear is really a huge force that kind of stops us from that, because it just kind of freezes us and we
Mm-hmm.
lose our power totally. And then the
Absolutely.
enemy and circumstances begin to toss you here and there. But the
Mm-hmm.
moment you take your power back and say, okay, yes, I agree that this is the
Yes, I
situation,
am
it is
afraid,
bad.
but I'm going to do it.
Exactly.
Yes, I'm not sure I will get the job, but I'm gonna apply anyway.
Yes.
Yes,
I'm
I
not sure I
know
will do well in this career,
I'm
but
gonna
I'm
do
gonna
it
try
anyway.
it.
Just do
Oh,
it.
I
Do
mean, so
it. Feel the fear and still do it, as you
yes,
harness the power of your mind,
yes,
because you have the power
yes, indeed.
and you are
Like,
not alone. We have been given the grace of God to lean on. He says,
mhm,
come to me and I will give you rest.
rest
So why are we so troubled? It's because we want to take the burden
alone on our
and the
own.
load on our own. But that's
Hmm.
not what the Lord wants us to do.
Hmm. Wow. Such a nice discussion today, guys. I hope that you've been able to learn one or two things from Fauza. Before we go, I'm just going to ask one more question and then we will wrap this up. All right. So, guys, before we go, I just wanted to ask Fauza. So, now that your two books are out, how can we get them? Both of them.
Okay, that's a very good question. The books are all on Amazon, Amazon.com.
Okay.
You can also get them on FauzaBeltz.com.
Okay. So, there's a
Yeah,
paperback and there is the
there
ebook
is
or
a
just ebook.
paperback and then there is the ebook. And I'm
Okay.
also thinking of doing an audiobook as well for Transform Fear into Freedom.
Yes!
Yay!
Yes, you should do it, sis. You should do it. Yes, 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 yes. Audiobooks for the win, win. See, all right, all the audiobooks lover. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I hope I'm going to be part of that production.
Yes, why not?
All right, fantastic. Thank you, Fauza, for being here. If people want to connect with you because your story has really, touched them and they want to just reach out to you, probably follow your work and see what you're doing and see how they can learn more from you or connect with you, how do they
Mhm.
do
Yes, so that's a good question. They can find me on Fauza Beltz for my Facebook, Fauza Beltz for my Twitter, Fauza Beltz for Instagram, and on my YouTube is Fauza Beltz 34.
Okay, so basically just search Fauza Beltz and you get
Yes, that's all
yeah.
what they need to do.
Across all social media platforms, and you can subscribe to her YouTube channel, follow her on Instagram. She has great content, and outside of being an author, she has other parts of her, like she has an NGO, she has a fashion business, like she's
I'm
just
wearing
a full
one.
package. Oh, you see that now? She's modeling for her brand.
Yeah,
So so she has a very she has multi face to her. So you can go follow her on Fauza Belts across social media platform, and yeah, she's going to be, yeah, that's her name, Fauza Beltz. You're going to be able
yeah,
to follow her works and then just reach out to her if you need to talk. Like, I think you're also, you're in the coaching space already, yes?
yes.
Exactly. So,
I also wanted to say that honestly, if you are out there and you are struggling, I just want to say, EJ, that you are don't suffer in silence.
no.
Don't suffer alone. Don't suffer in silence. Please reach out.
Mm.
Reach out, please, because there is so much going on. And sometimes when you are really squashed in the wall in the corner, you sort of feel like you are the only one going through that.
And then it
But
feels
the
like
truth
it's
of the
heavier.
matter,
Mm.
no, you are not the only one. You are not alone. Yes, our journeys are different. Yes, our struggles are different. But our experiences, I always say we see our stories in other people's lives. So don't
Mm.
suffer in silence. Please just reach out to me and I can, I can support, I can help you. Actually a trained counselor. So don't suffer in silence.
Thank you
Please,
so much.
because
Thank
God needs you for a bigger purpose here.
you.
Mhm.
Indeed,
And
indeed.
He
Thank you
loves
so
you.
much.
Mhm.
Yes, God loves you. I love you too, but He loves you way more. Never forget that.
Unconditional.
Thank you so much, guys, for being
Thank
here.
you,
I hope you
Sydney.
enjoyed today's show. Please remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel and also to Spring Media's YouTube channel and also to Fauza Beltz channel. We all have different type of content for you, just to entertain, inform, or educate you. And I do hope that you found this one informative and inspiring, especially because each chat is about sharing inspiring stories. Thank you for being here today. I'll see you next week, hopefully, and if not, next time.
Thank
Bye.
you for this. Stay safe.